Imagine this, a young woman, confident, maybe a little flustered, standing in a parking lot, thinking she's got a moment of privacy. She tugs at her blouse, adjusts it just so, using the tinted window of a sleek black SUV as her mirror. She's got no idea. None, that someone's watching her every move. And not just anyone, but her boss. The one person who holds her career in their hands. Sounds like the kind of moment that could spiral into a viral story, right? The kind of drama that makes you lean closer to the screen, wondering, what happens next? How does she get out of this? Or does she? You're here because you want answers, and I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to get them. But first, let's dive into this wild ride together, because this story? It's got layers, awkward moments, workplace tension, and a twist that'll leave you shook. So grab your snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's unpack this trending tale that's got everyone talking. You ever had one of those moments where you thought you were totally alone, doing something totally normal, only to realize, oops, someone saw everything? Maybe you were singing off-key in your car, thinking you're the next big TikTok star, or maybe you were fixing your hair in what you thought was a private corner. We've all been there, haven't we? That split second when your stomach drops, and you wonder, oh no, who saw that? And what are they gonna think? That's exactly where our girl, Emily, finds herself in this story. She's 27, ambitious, and hustling her way through a corporate job in downtown Chicago. She's the kind of person you'd root for. Smart, a little quirky, always trying to make a good impression. But this one moment, this one innocent decision to fix her blouse in a parking lot, is about to turn her world upside down. And you, my friend, are gonna want to stick around to see how it all plays out, because this isn't just about a wardrobe malfunction. It's about power dynamics, workplace drama, and the kind of misunderstanding that could either ruin everything or change her life forever. You're not just watching a story. You're living it with Emily, feeling her panic, her hope, and her determination. So, tell me, are you ready to dive in? Because I'm about to take you on a journey that's trending for a reason. Let's set the scene. It's a crisp Monday morning, the kind where the air smells like coffee and ambition. Emily's rushing to work, her heels clicking on the pavement, her mind already racing through her to-do list. She's got a big presentation today, one that could finally get her noticed by the higher-ups. She's been prepping for weeks, staying late, perfecting every slide, because this is her shot to shine. But as she pulls into the parking lot of her sleek office building, she notices her blouse is a little off. Maybe a button's undone, maybe it's just not sitting right. No big deal, right? She glances around, sees no one, and steps over to the nearest car window to fix it. The window's dark, reflective, perfect for a quick check. She smooths her hair, adjusts her top, maybe even gives herself a little pep talk. You got this, Emily, she whispers. What she doesn't know, what she can't know, is that on the other side of that tinted window, someone's watching. Not just any someone, but her boss, Mr. Carter, the guy who's known for being all business, no nonsense. And let me tell you, this isn't the kind of first impression Emily was hoping to make. You're probably wondering, why was he there? What did he see? And what's gonna happen when she walks into that office? Hold tight, because I'm gonna answer every single one of those questions. But first, I want you to feel what Emily's feeling, because this story is about more than just one awkward moment. It's about how one tiny misstep can snowball into something so much bigger. Now, let's talk about you for a second. Yeah, you, the one who's already hooked, wondering how this all unfolds. You're here because you love a good story, the kind that makes you laugh, cringe, and maybe even gasp out loud. You're here because you want to know how Emily handles this mess, and trust me, I get it. We're all drawn to those moments where life throws a curveball, and we get to see how someone else navigates it. That's why this video is for you, because I'm not just gonna tell you what happened, I'm gonna make you feel like you're right there with Emily, heart pounding, palms sweaty, as she walks into that office building, clueless about the storm that's brewing. You're not just a viewer. You're part of this story. And here's my promise to you. If you stick with me to the end, you're gonna get the full scoop. Every detail, every twist, every moment that makes this story one of the most talked about on YouTube right now. But to get there, we've got to go through the tension, the drama, and the unexpected turns that make this more than just a viral moment. So, are you with me? Because Emily's about to walk through those glass doors, and what happens next is gonna leave you speechless. Let's talk about Mr. Carter for a minute, because he's not just a background character in this drama. He's a key player. He's in his late 40s, the The kind of boss who commands a room without even trying. He's got that polished suit, that firm handshake, and a reputation for being fair but tough. Emily's always admired him, maybe even looked up to him as a mentor, but she's also a little intimidated. Who wouldn't be? He's the guy who decides who gets promoted, who gets the corner office, who gets to shine. And now, he's seen her in this vulnerable, unprofessional moment. Or at least, that's what she's afraid of. The thing is, we don't know yet what he's thinking. Is he judging her? Is he amused? Or is there something else going on, something Emily, and you, haven't even considered? That's the mystery we're unraveling, and it's why you're gonna want to keep watching. Because this isn't just about what happened in that parking lot. It's about what it means for Emily's future, her confidence, and her place in a cutthroat corporate world. You're probably already imagining the awkward elevator ride, the tense meeting, the moment when she realizes he saw everything. And I'm here to tell you, it's even wilder than you think. Here's where things get really interesting. This story isn't just about Emily and Mr. Carter. It's about the bigger themes that hit home for all of us. Ever felt like you're being watched, judged, or misunderstood? Ever worried that one small mistake could define you in someone else's eyes? That's what Emily's grappling with, and it's what makes this story so relatable. We're diving into workplace drama, sure, but we're also exploring power dynamics, self-doubt, and the pressure to be perfect in a world that's always watching. You're gonna see Emily wrestle with her own insecurities, wondering if she's blown her big chance, while also trying to figure out what Mr. Carter's deal is. And let me let you in on a little hint. There's more to this moment than meets the eye. Something about that car, that window, that morning, is gonna flip this story on its head. You're not just watching for the drama. You're watching to see how Emily rises, or falls, in the face of it all. And I know you're curious, because who wouldn't be? That's why I'm asking you to stick with me, to keep those eyes glued to the screen, because the answer to what happens next is coming, and it's gonna be worth it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Just tell me what happens. Did she get fired? Did she nail the presentation? What did Mr. Carter do? And trust me, I'm itching to spill the beans, but here's the thing. This story's too good to rush. You didn't click on this video for a quick answer. You clicked because you want the full experience, the kind of story that trends on YouTube for a reason. So let's make a deal. You keep watching, and I'll keep delivering. I'm not gonna waste your time with fluff or filler. This is all about Emily, her moment of panic, and the fallout that's about to unfold. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cringe, and you're gonna be on the edge of your seat, because this isn't just a story, it's a roller coaster. And right now, we're at the top of the first big drop. Emily's about to walk into that office, her heart racing, her mind spinning with worst-case scenarios. She's got no idea what Mr. Carter saw, or what he's thinking, or how this one tiny moment is about to change everything. So, what's it gonna be? Are you ready to find out what happens when she steps through those doors? Because the truth is waiting, and it's gonna blow your mind. Emily's heart pounded as she pushed through the glass doors of the office building, the cool air of the lobby hitting her like a wake-up call. She was still replaying that moment in the parking lot, her hands tugging at her blouse, the reflection in the car window giving her a false sense of privacy. Had anyone seen her? The thought gnawed at her, but she shoved it down, focusing on the presentation she'd spent weeks perfecting. This was her moment to shine, her chance to prove she belonged in the high-stakes world of corporate Chicago. She smoothed her skirt, adjusted her bag, and forced a smile as she stepped into the elevator, unaware that the real storm was just beginning. You're probably wondering what's going through her mind right now, aren't you? That mix of nerves and determination, the kind of feeling you get when you're about to step into something big, but you're not sure if you're ready. Emily's no stranger to pressure. She's been clawing her way up in this company for 2 years, always the first to arrive, the last to leave, pouring her heart into every project. But this morning, something feels off, and it's not just the blouse incident. There's a buzz in the air, a tension she can't quite place, and as the elevator dings, she steps out onto the 15th floor, clueless that her world is about to get a lot more complicated. Stick with me, because this story's about to take you deeper into a web of workplace drama, hidden secrets, and a mystery that's got everyone on YouTube buzzing. Let's rewind a bit to give you the full picture, because Emily's story didn't start in that parking lot. It's been building for months. She's the youngest member of her team at Pinnacle Solutions, a marketing firm known for landing big clients and bigger egos. Emily grew up in a small town just outside Chicago, the kind of place where everyone knows your business, and she's always had this fire to prove herself, to show the world she's more than just a small-town girl. She's got this infectious energy. Think of that friend who's always got a plan, always pushing forward, even when the odds are stacked against them. But the corporate world? It's a different beast. She's been navigating office politics, late nights, and the constant pressure to outshine her colleagues, all while trying to keep her head above water. Her boss, Mr. Carter, has been her biggest supporter, or so she thought. He's the one who gave her this presentation opportunity, telling her, "Emily, you've got potential. Show me what you can do." Those words have been her fuel, but now, as she walks toward the conference room, she can't shake the feeling that something's shifted. You know that gut instinct when you sense someone's watching you, judging you? That's where Emily's at, and you're right there with her, wondering if that moment in the parking lot is about to haunt her, or if there's something even bigger at play. This is the kind of workplace drama that trends on YouTube for a reason, and I'm gonna peel back the layers so you can see why. Now let's introduce a new face to this story. Lila, Emily's coworker and the closest thing she has to a friend in this cutthroat office. Lila's a few years older, sharp as a tack, with a knack for reading people that makes her both an ally and a wild card. She's the one who always seems to know what's going on behind closed doors, the one who drops cryptic hints about office gossip over coffee breaks. This morning, as Emily passes Lila's desk, Lila gives her a look, a quick, knowing glance that makes Emily's stomach twist. "Big day, huh?" Lila says, her voice casual but her eyes saying something else. Emily nods, trying to play it cool, but she can't help wondering what Lila knows. Did she see something in the parking lot? Or is this about the presentation, the client, or something else entirely? Lila's been acting strange lately, ever since she was passed over for a promotion that went to someone less experienced. There's a subplot brewing here, one that's adding fuel to the fire. Lila's got her own agenda, her own reasons to stir the pot, and Emily's starting to wonder if she can trust her. You're probably thinking, okay, what's Lila's deal? Is she friend or foe? And that's exactly the question we're going to explore, because this story isn't just about Emily and Mr. Carter. It's about the tangled relationships, the hidden motives, and the kind of office drama that keeps you glued to the screen. Let's shift perspectives for a moment and peek into Mr. Carter's world, because he's not just the stern boss Emily's picturing. He's got his own pressures, his own battles. Running a department at Pinnacle Solutions means juggling demanding clients, a board that's always breathing down his neck, and a team that's constantly vying for his approval. He's seen Emily's potential from day one, but he's also seen her stumble. Small mistakes, moments of self-doubt that she tries to hide. This morning, as he sat in his car, sipping coffee and reviewing notes for the big client meeting, he wasn't expecting to see Emily outside his window. But what did he see exactly? Was it just her fixing her blouse? Or was there something else? Something that's got him rethinking her readiness for the spotlight? Here's where the mystery deepens, because Mr. Carter's not the only one who was in that parking lot. There's a security camera, one Emily didn't notice, and it's captured everything. Who's watching that footage? And what are they planning to do with it? You're probably starting to see the layers here, the way this story's weaving together workplace tension, personal stakes, and a viral moment that's got everyone talking. You're not just watching a drama. You're unraveling a puzzle, and every piece is going to keep you hooked. Back to Emily, who's now standing outside the conference room, her hand on the door, her mind racing. She's trying to focus on her presentation, on the client who's waiting inside, but all she can think about is that car window. Did she imagine the shadow behind it? Was it Mr. Carter, or someone else? And why does Lila's cryptic comment keep echoing in her head? There's a bigger mystery here, one that's starting to take shape. Rumors have been swirling around Pinnacle Solutions for weeks. Whispers of a corporate shakeup, a potential merger, or even layoffs. Emily's heard the gossip but brushed it off, too focused on her own goals. Now though, she's starting to wonder if she's caught in something bigger, something that goes beyond a wardrobe mishap. Maybe that moment in the parking lot wasn't an accident. Maybe someone wanted her to slip up, to look unprofessional, to give them an excuse to push her out. Or maybe it's all in her head, a product of stress and paranoia. You know that feeling when you're not sure what's real and what's just your mind playing tricks? That's where Emily's at, and you're right there with her, feeling the tension build, wondering who's pulling the strings. This is the kind of story that's trending on YouTube because it's not just drama. It's a mystery that keeps you guessing. As Emily takes a deep breath and pushes open the conference room door, the room goes quiet. All eyes are on her. Mr. Carter's at the head of the table, his expression unreadable. The client's team is watching, expectant, and Lila's lingering by the coffee station, her gaze sharp. Emily's got her slides ready, her notes memorized, but there's a weight in the air, a sense that this meeting is about more than just a pitch. Something's off, and she can feel it. Is it her imagination, or is Mr. Carter avoiding her eyes? Did Lila just smirk, or was that a trick of the light? And what about that security footage? Has it already made its way to the wrong hands? You're probably dying to know what happens next, and I don't blame you. This is the moment where everything could change for Emily. Her career, her confidence, her future. But I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. You've gotta stick with me, because this story's only getting wilder, and the truth is closer than you think. What's waiting for Emily on the other side of this meeting? And who's really watching her? Keep those eyes on the screen, because the next twist is gonna leave you speechless. As Emily stepped into the conference room, the air felt thick with expectation, like the moment before a storm breaks. She forced a smile, her laptop clutched tightly under her arm, and scanned the faces around the table. Mr. Carter at the head, his expression a mask of professionalism, the client's team, a group of sharp-suited execs whispering among themselves, and Lila lingering near the coffee station, her eyes flickering with something Emily couldn't quite read. She set up her presentation, her hands trembling slightly as she connected her laptop to the projector, all while trying to shake the image of that car window, that moment in the parking lot that now felt like a ticking time bomb. You know that feeling when you're standing on the edge of something huge, and one wrong move could send everything crashing down? That's where Emily was, her heart racing, her mind split between nailing this presentation and the nagging fear that Mr. Carter, or someone else, had seen her at her most vulnerable. But just as she opened her mouth to start, the door swung open, and in walked someone she hadn't expected. Sarah, the company's HR director, her face grim and her arms crossed. The room fell silent, and Emily's stomach dropped. Why was HR here? Was this about the parking lot? Or was something even bigger about to unravel? You're probably leaning in right now, wondering what this curveball means, and trust me, you're not alone. This is the kind of workplace drama that's blowing up on YouTube, and the twist that's coming is gonna leave you floored. Let's dive into that moment, because Sarah's entrance wasn't just a coincidence. It was a game changer. Emily had only interacted with Sarah a handful of times, usually during onboarding or mandatory training sessions, but she knew Sarah's reputation. Fair but firm, the kind of person who didn't show up unless something serious was going down. As Sarah took a seat near Mr. Carter, whispering something in his ear, Emily's mind raced. Was this about her? Had someone reported the parking lot incident? Or was it tied to the rumors of a corporate shakeup that had been swirling around Pinnacle Solutions? You see, Emily wasn't the only one feeling the heat. The whole company had been on edge for weeks, with whispers of a merger, layoffs, or even a scandal involving one of the top execs. Lila had dropped hints about it during their coffee breaks, her voice low and conspiratorial, but Emily had been too focused on her presentation to pay much attention. Now though, as she stood in front of the room, her slides glowing on the screen, she couldn't ignore the sinking feeling that she'd stumbled into something much bigger than a wardrobe mishap. You're probably thinking, okay, what's Sarah's deal? And how does this tie back to the car window? That's the beauty of this story. It's not just about one moment. It's about a web of secrets, power plays, and a viral moment that's got everyone talking. Stick with me, because the stakes are about to get even higher. Here's where things take a sharp turn. As Emily launched into her presentation, her voice steady despite the chaos in her head, she noticed something odd. One of the client's execs, a man in a sleek gray suit, kept glancing at his phone, his lips twitching like he was trying not to laugh. At first, she brushed it off. Maybe he was just distracted, but then she saw Lila exchange a quick look with him, a look that felt like a secret handshake. Emily's focus wavered, her words stumbling as she clicked to the next slide. What was going on? Was Lila involved in something? And then, like a bolt from the blue, her laptop screen flickered, and instead of her carefully crafted marketing pitch, a grainy video popped up on the projector. It was the parking lot. It was her, adjusting her blouse, smoothing her hair, completely unaware of the camera. The room erupted in murmurs, and Emily froze, her face burning as every eye turned to her. You know that moment when time slows down, and you feel like you're watching your own life implode? That's where Emily was, and you're right there with her, feeling the shock, the humiliation, the questions piling up. Who had this footage? How did it end up here? And why was it playing now, in front of the client, Mr. Carter, and HR? This wasn't just a mistake, it was sabotage, and the twist is only the beginning. Let's unpack this bombshell, because that video wasn't just a random leak, it was a calculated move, and Emily was starting to see the pieces of a larger puzzle. Lila's strange behavior, her cryptic comments, that glance with the client's exec, it all pointed to something deeper. Lila had been bitter ever since she was passed over for that promotion, and Emily had heard whispers that she'd been cozying up to some of the higher-ups, maybe even leaking info to gain favor. But would she go this far, humiliating Emily in front of everyone just to settle a score? Or was someone else pulling the strings? The security footage meant someone had access to the parking lot cameras, and Emily's mind flashed to Mr. Carter. He'd been in that car, hadn't he? But why would he sabotage her when he'd been the one to give her this opportunity? The more she thought about it, the less it made sense, and the more she wondered if this was about the rumored merger. Maybe someone wanted to discredit her team, make them look unprofessional to tank the deal. You're probably as confused as Emily right now, trying to connect the dots, and that's what makes this story so gripping. It's a trending mystery that keeps you guessing, with every twist pulling you deeper into the drama. Meanwhile, the subplot with Lila was heating up, adding another layer of intrigue. As the video played, Lila's face was unreadable, but her eyes darted to Sarah, then to Mr. Carter, like she was waiting for something. Emily caught it, and in that moment, she realized Lila wasn't just a bystander. She was in on it, or at least knew more than she was letting on. But here's the kicker. Lila wasn't the only one acting strange. Sarah, the HR director, hadn't said a word since the video started, but her presence felt like a warning, like she was there to clean up a mess, or start one. Emily's mind raced back to a conversation she'd overheard a week ago, something about cleaning house before the merger. Was this part of it? Was she being set up to take the fall for something bigger? The room was still buzzing, the client's team whispering, Mr. Carter's jaw tight, and Emily standing there, her presentation in ruins, her career hanging by a thread. You're probably screaming at the screen. What's happening? Who did this? And I get it. This is the kind of workplace scandal that's all over YouTube, the kind that keeps you glued to every second. As the video looped, Emily's shock turned to anger. She wasn't going down without a fight. She slammed her laptop shut, cutting off the footage, and faced the room, her voice shaking but firm. I don't know how this happened, but I'm here to do my job, and I'm not letting this stop me. The room went quiet, and for a split second, she thought she saw a flicker of respect in Mr. Carter's eyes. Or was it something else? Before she could say more, Sarah stood up, her voice calm but cutting. Emily, we need to talk. Now. The words hit like a punch, and as Emily followed Sarah out of the room, her mind was a whirlwind. Was she about to be fired? Was this about the video, or something bigger? And who was behind it? Lila, Mr. Carter, or someone she hadn't even considered? The stakes had never been higher, and as the conference room door closed behind her, Emily felt the weight of every eye in the building. You're right there with her, aren't you? Wondering what Sarah's about to say, what the video means, and how Emily's gonna claw her way out of this mess. Keep watching, because this story's racing toward a climax, and the next reveal is gonna shake everything you thought you knew. Emily's footsteps echoed in the hallway as she followed Sarah, the HR director, away from the conference room, her mind a storm of panic and defiance. The grainy video of her adjusting her blouse in the parking lot was still burned into her brain, looping like a nightmare she couldn't escape. The murmurs of the client's team, Lila's cryptic glance, Mr. Carter's unreadable expression. It all swirled together, making her wonder if her career at Pinnacle Solutions was over before it truly began. You're probably right there with her, heart pounding, wondering how she's going to face whatever Sarah's about to throw at her. Was this about the video, or was it tied to the rumors of a merger, layoffs, or something even darker? As they entered Sarah's office, Emily braced herself, ready to fight for her place in this cutthroat corporate world. But what happened next wasn't just a resolution. It was a climax that flipped everything she thought she knew, a moment that's got this story trending on YouTube for all the right reasons. You've stuck with me this far, and I promise, the answers you've been waiting for are here, along with a final twist that'll leave you speechless. Let's dive into the heart of this viral workplace drama and see how Emily's story ends. Sarah closed the door behind them, her face softening in a way that caught Emily off guard. Sit down, Emily, she said, her voice calm but firm. Emily perched on the edge of the chair, her hands clenched, expecting the worst, a reprimand, a suspension, maybe even a termination. But instead, Sarah slid a tablet across the desk, its screen paused on a still from the parking lot footage. Before you say anything, Sarah began, I need you to know this wasn't about you. Not really. Emily's breath caught as Sarah explained that the video hadn't come from Mr. Carter or even Lila. It was part of a larger scheme orchestrated by an external consultant hired to stress test the company's security systems ahead of the rumored merger. The consultant, posing as one of the client's execs, had hacked into the parking lot cameras, pulling random footage to expose vulnerabilities in Pinnacle's infrastructure. Emily's moment of adjusting her blouse just happened to be the clip they chose to project during the meeting. A deliberate provocation to see how the team would react under pressure. You're probably as shocked as Emily was, aren't you? The humiliation, the sabotage, it wasn't personal, but it felt like a betrayal all the same. Yet, as Sarah's words sank in, Emily realized this was bigger than her own embarrassment. It was about the company's future, and she was caught in the crossfire of a corporate power play that was blowing up on YouTube for its sheer audacity. But the climax wasn't over yet. Sarah leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. There's more. Someone on your team tipped off the consultant about you, your habits, your routines, even your presentation schedule. Emily's mind raced, landing on Lila. It had to be her. The knowing glances, the cryptic comments, the bitterness over the promotion. Sarah confirmed it, revealing that Lila had been feeding information to the consultant, hoping to undermine Emily and secure her own position in the merger. The betrayal stung, but Emily's anger was tempered by a surprising revelation. Mr. Carter had known about the consultant's test all along. He'd been in the car that morning, yes, but not to spy on Emily. He was meeting with the consultant to finalize the stress test plan. When he saw Emily outside his window, he'd felt a pang of guilt, knowing she might get caught in the fallout, but he'd trusted her to handle it. And handle it she did. Back in the conference room, after Emily had shut down the video and stood her ground, Mr. Carter had been impressed, not by her mistake, but by her resilience. You're probably feeling the weight of this moment, the way it shifts everything. Emily wasn't the victim of a random prank. She was the unwitting hero of a corporate trial, and her response was about to change her future. As Sarah laid out the consequences, the resolution began to take shape. Lila's actions had backfired. Her collusion with the consultant was exposed when the security team traced the data leak, and she was now facing disciplinary action, likely a demotion or worse. Emily, on the other hand, was offered a chance to shine. Mr. Carter wanted her to lead a new project tied to the merger, a role that would put her in the spotlight and fast-track her career. The client's team, initially thrown by the video, had been won over by Emily's composure and professionalism, signing the deal that same afternoon. Emily left Sarah's office in a daze, her head spinning with relief, pride, and a lingering sense of disbelief. She'd gone from thinking her career was over to standing on the cusp of something huge, all because she refused to let one moment define her. You know that feeling when you face your worst fear and come out stronger? That's where Emily was, and you're right there with her, cheering for her comeback in this workplace drama that's got everyone on YouTube talking. But just when you think the story's wrapped up, there's one final twist that'll leave you reeling. As Emily walked back to her desk, her phone buzzed with a notification. A new email from an anonymous sender. She opened it, her heart skipping a beat as she read the single line. The footage is still out there. Be careful. Her blood ran cold. The consultant's test was over, Lila was exposed, and the merger was moving forward, but this message suggested someone else had the video, someone who wasn't done with her yet. Was it a disgruntled colleague? A rival from another firm? Or just a cruel prank? Emily glanced around the office, her eyes landing on Lila's empty desk, then on Mr. Carter's closed door. The victory she'd felt moments ago was now tinged with unease, a reminder that in the corporate world, no win is ever final. You're probably as stunned as I was when this twist hit, aren't you? This is the kind of ending that sticks with you, the kind that makes you hit that subscribe button and dive into the comments to share your theories. Emily's story isn't just about one viral moment. It's about resilience, betrayal, and the shadows that linger even after the spotlight fades. So, what's the takeaway? It's simple. Life's gonna throw curveballs, whether it's a parking lot mishap or a corporate conspiracy, but it's how you stand up, dust yourself off, and keep going that defines you. Now, tell me, what would you do if you were Emily? Drop it in the comments, and let's keep this trending story alive.